3, 2, 1.
Yippee-Ki-Yay, mother.
Welcome to the party, pal.
Welcome to a very special edition, take 3 of Yippee-Ki-Yay Mother Podcast. Hey, Mother Podcasters. What's happening?
Be our guest. Be our guest, Ralph. Be our guest.
All right.
Ralph, are you recording?
I am recording.
Oh,
Everything's
good.
recorded.
This time?
I'm recording
This time?
all around.
Good. Excellent.
Sorry, ladies.
That's
We have some special ladies in the house, as you can see. Debbie's pick was Beauty and the Beast. And I told everybody I wasn't going to watch it, so I asked these nice ladies to come on who have seen the film to be my proxies and talk about the film. So why don't we go around the horn? We'll start with Debbie.
But two specific, not the George C. Scott, not the French version. This is the Disney animated and the Disney live action.
What's the George C.
point.
Scott?
The Beauty and the Beast with George C. Scott and his wife, Trish Van
Oh, I didn't even know that.
whatever it is.
Oh,
he
it's
was
called
great.
Hardcore.
He was great in it.
I knew about the TV.
Yeah.
I knew about the TV show, right? That's Ron Perlman
And Linda Hamilton.
Linda Hamilton. Yeah.
but these guys are going to talk about the animated one that came out in 1991 and the live action that came out in 2017.
Both Disney.
Both Disney. So before we get started,
Introduce our guests first.
Sean, thank you for jumping in. I might have to start recording again. Go ahead. Ladies next to Debbie. Name and age.
I am Mara and I am 8.
Thank you.
I'm Emma and I am 8.
And
I'm Audrey and I'm also 8.
3 8s. And that is how much? 3 8s is what?
24.
Thank you. Okay.
You three are already way more professional
All
than
right,
us,
so
thank you for
I
helping.
imagine that the animated version these guys have seen when they were very young. Their parents or grandparents are probably playing it all the time to babysit them or keep them quiet. I don't know why you'd be playing this. I didn't watch these, but I do have a Laserdisc from '91 that is a working version, work in progress. So actually, this thing isn't fully animated. This has
It's pencil drawings, right?
some
Isn't it?
pencil drawings are still
Is
in
that
there.
the one that was shown at the New York Film Festival?
1991 New York Film
I
Festival.
heard that.
I
I did
don't
hear
know.
that.
I'm having wicked deja vu right now.
Well, I also just want to say one thing, that the reason why we have the children on for two reasons. One, to get the child's perspective of both movies, but two, because Ralph refused to watch either of these films.
Refused.
So rather than watch the films,
Refused.
he brought on substitutes. So just wanted you guys to know that.
And thank you guys very much. I appreciate. We've done 185 of these, and I've missed one. Okay, so
And that should get you subscribe, hit the notification button, and for the love of God, smash that like button.
I mean,
'cause
if these young ladies don't get us some subscribers
please.
and some views,
Look
I
at
don't
these
know
kids.
what will. So,
look
all
at
right.
these kids.
Debbie, go ahead. Why don't you lead the festivities? Get it started, and let's hear
Well-
what these ladies have to say.
This movie means so much to me because it shows a lesson. What we're looking for, what we're aiming for is beauty. And everybody wants to be beautiful. And but you first gotta conquer the beast, that's within all of us. Right, Mara?
Yep.
Is that
Right,
what you guys
Emma?
got? So is that the lesson that everybody's beautiful, both inside and outside, or just outside? What's the lesson from these movies? Anybody? Sean.
Well, sometimes the concentration is on
Oh boy.
Uh-oh.
Oh, geez, where's Waldo?
Oh my God. All right, Audrey. Do you remember seeing this as a young child of 3?
I remember seeing the cartoon version.
Thank you. It is a cartoon.
I forget some of the live action one.
Oh.
But
Okay.
you remember the animated one? You remember everything from the animated movie?
Mm-hmm.
Does
And
that
how
mean
many-
that you like that one better?
How many times have you seen the animated version? A lot?
Probably
Probably. And how many times have you seen the live one?
like twice, I think.
All right.
Ah.
Which one did you like better?
I like the cartoon version because in the live action one, Cloudsworth, Lumiere, and the Beast all look super duper creepy.
Do they look beast-like? He looks like a beast? Mm.
Yeah, the let's just say the computer animated people who are turned into objects,
Yeah.
they do look pretty strange. They look
Yeah.
they look off-putting. Let's put it that way.
I agree.
Yeah. So that's why you like the cartoon one better?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Emma and Maura, what about you guys? Which one did you like better?
Well, I liked the live action one, and I did notice that in one of the parts, when the father came in, he said he was seeking a storm. In the beginning, it said that an old woman was seeking shelter for a storm, and I think that's what triggered the beast.
Mm-hmm.
Is that in both or just the live action?
Just the live action.
I mean, was this like the Lion King live action, which was basically shot for shot?
It wasn't shot for shot, but
Okay.
it was pretty
Close.
close. Yeah.
So close.
Yeah.
Emma, what about you? Which one did you like better?
The cartoon, because it's shorter.
I like it.
You know what? What else can you
It's a-
say?
it's
And I
Out of the
love,
mouth of babes.
and I appreciate you guys calling it a cartoon. That's even better.
That's because they're 8 years old, Ralph.
well,
Okay, that's
and
why they're calling it a cartoon.
it's nothing.
It was nominated for Academy Award as Best Picture.
Nothing.
Yeah,
more
they had to
truthful
not
make
than
a
a
whole.
cartoon.
They had to make a whole best cartoon category now because
That's right,
this movie
'cause of
was
this film.
nominated.
And this was the first animated feature ever nominated for Best Picture.
That's right. You notice he didn't say cartoon feature. He
So
said
what? Toy
animated
Story
feature.
came what? 95 was Toy Story.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Which one had better music, the animated one or the live action?
Emma, did you have something else?
Emma did want to say something?
Emma said her grandfather needs better internet. That's what she said. Emma, was there something else, Emma, that you wanted to say?
When did you?
Yeah.
I think what Emma was trying to say was, now that I think about it, it is an animated movie.
All right. So which one, I'm going to ask again, which one had better music or were they the same?
I think they're the same.
The difference is the voices.
Yeah.
The voices they used in the animated version, I think, outdo the live action version. My
But they're
opinion.
basic- but like you said before with the Lion King, it's the live action version of Beauty and the Beast has a couple of extra songs, and a
Yeah.
few extended musical sequences, but the songs are all basically the same. I think there's one extra big musical number and some other little musical bits, but essentially it's the same as far as the music is concerned.
Who was the voice of the Beast?
It was Dan Stevens, right? Did he
No,
sing too?
Dan Stevens?
Yeah.
No, it was
In the new one.
Oh, the new one, right? Not the
Yeah.
animated one. Yeah, and that was also. I thought the CGI in the Beast was awful.
He looked creepy.
Yeah, it did. It didn't. I mean, the other one, the animated one, I thought he looked a lot better.
Okay. I haven't seen these. Debbie, you said it was about, is it about being beautiful inside? Like we have to look at people because the Beast is ugly,
Yes.
and she looked at him and said he's so beautiful.
Yes.
But doesn't he turn into a prince or something at the end?
Yes, because she falls in love with him as he is, not as he really is, but as the Beast.
But did he
That-
imprison her to make that happen? How does this work? What is the? Can someone
Well-
give me the outline of the story?
Okay, well,
Audrey,
Yeah.
give me the outline of the story. Give me just a little quick what the story's about.
So I think it's about it doesn't matter how you look on the outside. But everyone's beautiful on the inside.
Do you believe that? Is that a good message?
Okay. Yeah, the story, Ralph, is pretty simple. A very vain prince turns away an old woman, right, on a stormy night, and it turns out she's a very powerful sorceress, and so she curses him because he only saw her outward appearance to turn into a beast, and if somebody doesn't fall in love with him as a beast by the age of 21 or something
No.
like that,
It's until
what then?
all the petals on the rose fall off.
Okay, yes.
Right.
So there's a time limit, and so yes, the beast. What happens is Belle's father gets taken by the beast, and she agrees to swap places with him. And so she is she's kind of kidnapped, held against her will.
Wow, that
But
is
the
some,
Beast
that,
eventually let her go.
She sacrificed herself for her father.
eventually it
And-
worked out.
And all the animated figures want this is the chance for him to fall in love and break the curse. That's
So how are these animated figures? How do they figure into the story? Do they cursed as well or something?
Yes,
they are
Well,
enchanted.
there's a
Guys,
bit-
treat me like I haven't seen the film
But
Yes,
you know,
maybe
it
because you
would have
haven't
really
seen it.
helped, Ralph, had you seen it.
because I haven't seen the film.
all
I
of
want to
these-
know how the candlestick is running around. How did he come to life?
Lumiere.
Okay, how did he come to life?
But-
Emma, how did the candlestick come to life? Anybody? Are they frozen? I can't tell. Oh, they're moving. Okay. So, Emma,
We're moving.
okay, Emma, how did the candlestick come to life? Was it a candlestick before or a person?
Person.
Oh,
Yeah, all of the servants are cursed. as
they're
well.
all cursed as
Right.
well. Okay.
And the castle is enchanted.
Right.
And when the beast breaks the curse, it breaks the curse on all of the figures who become real people.
Do they
So
stay?
they
stay
want
or
him
they
to
leave?
fall.
Spoilers.
Well, that's in the sequel. Beauty Goes to College or whatever it is. I don't remember what it was.
Babylon.
It's
I
actually
think it's called.
it's a beautiful story that we've just destroyed. Trying to explain it to you. It is a beautiful story.
Yeah, it
It's
sounds
not.
beautiful.
He didn't imprison her. Okay, you're making it sound like that Farrah Fawcett movie when she locked the guy in the fireplace. It's not like that.
Okay.
So they also have to break the curse because they regain the human forms once the curse is broken on him. So they want this to work, and
Okay.
it comes off as kind of a plot, but then obviously they actually do fall in love, and that's the beautiful story that takes place, and it is a beautiful story.
What was he? So did he soften? Is that what happened? He became a nicer beast, and then she saw the beauty of him.
Well, in the animated one, he does. In the live action one, he's still not very nice until the very end. It's a little weird, actually.
Really? Do you guys
Yeah.
agree with that? You agree with what Drew just said? That the live action was a little stranger than the animated one? Yeah.
Well, like in
Alright.
the animated one, he gets really mad at her and screams at her, and then he looks like, "Oh, maybe that wasn't nice. I shouldn't have done that." And in the live action one, he screams at her and gets mad at her, and then just kind of laughs to himself about it. And it's like, I thought he's supposed to be nicer, and so the animated one, he seems to become a nicer person over the course of the movie because she's nice to him, even though he's scary and growly and comes off very kind of gruff. He is maybe inside a nice person, and that's what the animated one is. And I don't think the live action one feels that way.
Well, he technically changed because he thought she was gonna break the curse, but then they started to actually like each other.
Yeah,
Right,
you mean at the
which is how you
beginning he
break
was
the curse.
he was doing it to break the curse, but then he ended up actually falling in love with her, right? Yeah.
Okay, who was prettier, the animated prince? Is she a princess or just what is
No,
her?
no, she's
She's
just
a lady from the village.
So who was
writes
prettier, the
books.
animated lady or the live lady?
Gaston.
Gaston. No one walks like Gaston. No one talks like Gaston.
Man, you did like this film.
I think I love this movie. I think the animated one is
Well, he was
something.
so vain. I mean, he was
It's something really
vain,
special.
Gaston.
What'd you say, Debbie?
He was very vain.
Yeah, he
vain.
was.
Mm-hmm.
He was too vain. It was like up at the top vain, Ralph.
But in the live action, he wasn't. He was much a much darker character than in the animated film, and the vanity wasn't as pronounced as it was. I mean, it was comic in the animated version. I actually, and I'm tearing at this live action version. I have to tell you, out of all the live action remakes that Disney has done, especially the last few, it was probably the best. I think it was one of the best ones that was done. I thought it was a really well done live action remake of the animated film, but the bar for the animated film was way up there. And I don't think there was any way it was going to even come close. And the CGI was not good in it, but the music was good. Emma, what's her name from Harry Potter?
Emma
Emma Watson, Hermione.
Emma Watson, Kevin Kline. They were good in it.
Luke Evans.
Luke Evans was very good at
As
Josh
Gaston.
Gad was in it. Mrs. Potts was played by
Is that Emma Thompson?
yeah, Emma Thompson, Kenneth Branaug's ex.
Right, Emma?
But the animated one showed everybody, Little Mermaid did it first, but the Little Mermaid, as good as that film was, it wasn't like a great film. It was a great animated film. This was a great film, even though it was animated. I mean, it was just so well done. The music was great. They used a little CGI computer for like the ballroom and stuff, but it was hand-drawn animation. It was a beautiful, beautiful film to look at. The music was fantastic. The story was great. You were invested emotionally in the characters up until the end when you thought the Beast died. Much more so than the live action. But again, I like the live action. I don't put it up with the animated one. But you guys, this was made in 91, so all you girls saw this at a very young age. And Audrey, you said you've seen this a lot. Mara and Emma, have you seen this animated one a lot?
Hardly not. But I did notice that Gaston's little sidekick can also plays Olaf.
That is true.
Oh yes, that's right. That's right. Josh Gad was the voice for both. You're absolutely right.
He's Luffy
Emma, have
and
you
Olaf.
seen it a lot? The animated one. What'd you say? No.
Was this the last of the hand drawn? I didn't realize it was hand drawn.
I don't.
No, it's not last.
I don't think it was. No. But it
was after this.
What?
Lion King was after this.
Yes.
They had Lion King, Aladdin, Pocahontas. And then they did a few in there that weren't very good, like Hercules and
Yeah, but they still did well. They still did well.
Mm-hmm.
But this,
yeah,
this one opened the doors for all those big ones because this was a big hit. It was critically acclaimed, huge box office. People just loved this movie.
Audrey, I have a question for you, hon. Did you feel sorry for the Beast at any time?
You must have felt sad when all the villagers were trying to get him, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was sad when you
Those
thought
mean wolves.
Yeah, when you thought they killed him, like he died when that last rose petal fell down, right? I mean, that must have been, you must have felt something for him, right? Yeah, that was sad. And then the big white light comes, and now he's the handsome prince.
Oh, I might have to watch this. This sounds amazing.
It is amazing, Ralph. But you don't like this stuff because you don't like hairy feet movies and stuff like that.
I bet the Beast had super hairy feet.
He did. The Beast was
Did
awesome.
the Beast have hairy feet?
That was Robbie Benson, by the way, who played the voice of the Beast
in the animated
this film. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
Okay, so in the live action, he's Dan Stevens to start, turns him into the Beast, and becomes Dan Stevens after.
Well, yeah, I think he was the voice and he was the actor too. So
yeah, he's on set in a mocap suit.
Yeah. But it's not. I mean, I think it would have been better with practical makeup.
Like Island of Dr. Moreau, you're saying?
Well, like if you saw the George C. Scott version, it's pretty good. It's pretty.
Yeah, I've
effective.
seen Hardcore. I agree.
But it just bothered me. It just looked fake. And in a live action version, the animated one looked better than the live action one. That shouldn't happen.
Well,
let me ask our guests a question.
In 1991 in the theaters, and it was so charming. I saw probably like 150 movies that year, and I think that was in my top 3 favorite films. It may have topped the list. It was so charming.
Yeah.
My problem with the new one is mainly like the candlestick and all. They are just so creepy with that.
Yeah. Yeah, they were.
CG. Someone said it best earlier, off-putting, And I really like the woman who did the voice Beauty in the animated film, because there were times where she was like channeling Judy Garland. Like when she was a little tough or firm, she sounded just like Judy Garland in Wizard of Oz. So I just loved the original version. And I probably would have liked the live action version a whole lot better if it didn't have to try to live up to the
Yeah.
to the old version.
We
Yeah.
say that we say that about a lot of remakes, don't we?
It also didn't
And you
help.
know another thing too about Belle, the main character in the
The live action, the animated.
she was so interesting. I'm sure you, Audrey, like to read. Do you like to read, Audrey?
What are you reading right now?
And you like to read, don't you, Mara?
Yep, I'm reading a lot of chapter books.
And Emma, do you like
Good
to
choice.
Not that much.
Emma, I knew
Not
I
that
brought Emma
much.
on for a reason.
Not that
It's called Ralph in it.
Yeah, she's
Chris, what were
mini-me.
you going to say? Chris, you were going to
Mini-me.
say something. What were you going to say?
Oh, I was going to say one of the things that, despite the fact that it was such a, it was such a close remake to the animated film, the fact that it was legitimately like 40 minutes longer, just, I just was, everything felt extended. And in some sequences, it was really beautiful and it was really neat. And they obviously wanted to show off all of this massive French village that they had kind of created. And they had these really great tracking shots and all this stuff. But at the same time, I was like, just in that opening scene, like in the animated version, it's all kind of told through this kind of neat stained glass window look.
Right.
Animated stained glass. And in the film, it's this big kind of production number. And it tells the same information. It's just in the newer film, it just takes, longer. And that's not always a bad thing.
Right.
That was one thing. It was like when I saw on it that it said it was like 2 hours and 20 minutes, I was like, they must add like a whole subplot that I was expecting, and it didn't go there. Anyway.
Holy padding, Batman.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, there's still a lot of beautiful stuff in the new film too. I mean,
yeah.
Legitimately, like I said, they did some really huge like musical numbers, with tons and tons of extras where it just it felt like a much bigger film, even though the animated film felt massive. I mean, I remember seeing it in the theater, and I think it may have actually been the first Disney movie I ever saw in the theater, believe it or not.
Was Beauty and the Beast in '91? That's the first.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
The theater, yeah. I mean, I wasn't a Disney kid. There's, in the late '70s and early '80s, there wasn't a whole lot.
The computer who wore tennis shoes?
Super Dad.
Chris
Super
grew up
Dad.
watching Clute and Body Snatchers and Godfather. And
Dune.
stuff.
Dune.
Hey, I was a huge fan. I was super excited when Dune came out.
I know you were.
All right, let's have these ladies rate these films, okay? First, let's rate the animated film 1 to 5. 1 being the lowest, 5 being it's great. Audrey.
Probably a 5.
Okay, 5 for all. This is the animated film. Emma. 4. I think you said 4. Yep. Maura. Was that a 3? Okay. I can't hear their mic, so I think I saw 3.
Okay.
All right. Let's go to the live action. Maura, the live action film, 1 to 5.
5.
Okay, I heard that. Emma.
Yeah.
It's a 2?
2. Yeah. And not a happy
definitely-
2. Did you see that? It wasn't a happy.
She's definitely a mini me. I think I like that kid. Audrey, 1 to 5 on the live action.
Probably like a 2.5.
2.5.
Definitely.
These guys are tough.
I
All
like
right.
that.
All right.
All right.
All right. You guys have any questions for us?
We're not that interesting, I guess.
Okay. Can Audrey, can you say please like and subscribe?
Please like and subscribe.
And
And
smash the like button.
Smash the like button.
There you go.
Can I recommend a movie to you guys? You may have already seen it,
Oh,
but
God.
there's an
Not
awful
Fury
lot of
Road.
Disney. Obviously, but there's an awful lot of Disney movies, and they've done an awful lot of remakes. And sometimes when they have a movie that's really good, like Beauty and the Beast, I wonder why did they remake it? But my favorite of the remakes, the original one, isn't very good. So I don't know if you guys have seen the live action Pete's Dragon movie, but that's really good. Way better than the original. Yeah, really, really good.
Okay.
So if you want to check that out with your families, I think you would.
Not the
really
Helen
like that.
Reddy version.
No, the one by David Lowery from 2016 with Bryce Dallas Howard. It's just a very, very good movie. And it's sometimes a movie is a good idea and they don't do a good job. And this time they did a good job.
Is that on Disney?
Probably, yeah. It's a Disney remake of a Disney movie, so it's probably on Disney Plus.
Yeah. Well, next week, what? Go ahead.
Well, I noticed that some Disney movies they sneak some things into another movie.
That's true.
Yeah.
Wait, and also like in Up in Toy Story, you can like when you see the balloons like rising, and
you
like,
could see the Toy Story pink bear.
Like
Yep.
Right beside the bed, you could see it from Toy Story.
That's
Do
true.
you guys know what those are called? The idea of doing that? Do you know what that's called? It's called an Easter egg because you have to hunt for it. So you guys found some Easter eggs. That's really cool.
There's also some more in different movies.
And in The Good Dinosaur, you see the octopus from Nemo finding.
There you go.
Finding Dory. I mean,
and also in like Luca and Turning Red, like
you see the Four Town symbol.
Yeah, after like under the table.
Wow.
Cool. I haven't seen Turning Red yet.
R2D2's on the ship on Close Encounters of the Third Kind. I know that one. Next week, the girls and I are going to review The Counselor.
In memory of Cormac McCarthy. I think that's a wonderful idea.
Good one. All right, girls, thank you. Did you guys enjoy your time on our podcast? All
Nice
right,
job,
we got a
ladies.
dab. Was that a dab? I saw
Nice,
that.
it was.
I actually know what that is. We're about to spin the wheel for next week's movie. You guys are welcome to stay to watch that, or you can get off if you're sick of us. Let me know what you want to do.
I'll do it.
I'll stay for a little bit.
Yeah, I'm gonna stay.
You want to watch the
Ah,
wheel
there
spin?
you go. I like
This
that.
is very
Here we go.
exciting. The wheel spin's very exciting. You got to hang on, though. I got to make sure I'm recording.
Don't yell at them like you do with Sean.
Wow. You know, I never remember how to get this thing. I'm on the PC
I've
now.
done 185 episodes.
It's on,
I don't
it's
know
on the
how to
PC
do
now.
it.
It's so different.
And one of these days, I'm going to get it right.
That's right.
This is so
I'll
hard.
turn back from a candlestick one day.
All right, we got The Day the Earth Stood Still and Evil Dead. John, what's your prediction?
It's a 50-50 shot. I'll go with The Day the Earth Stood Still.
I'm
Okay.
doing the
All right, here we go.
green one. Green one.
Please, I'd do anything to be the green one. I'll literally.
Nope.
I hate you.
Evil Dead.
Nice.
This is another Drew joint.
What's the Evil Dead? Which year is that?
You're going to watch the original Evil Dead, which is from 1981.
That's with Ash, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bruce Campbell.
And yes, and you're going to watch Evil Dead, the remake of that from 2013.
2013.
In between that, there's Evil Dead 2, and there's Army of Darkness, which is really Evil Dead 3, and there's Ash versus Evil Dead, the TV series, and there's the new Evil Dead Rise, so it's easy to get confused.
I mean, if you wanted to, couldn't you watch Evil Dead 2, which is a little bit more, or do you want to stick
No.
with number one?
No, I want to stick with number one, and we'll talk about why. You can watch Evil Dead 2 if you like Evil Dead 1.
I
It's
haven't
definitely
seen
worth
either
watching.
of them.
Oh.
I can't believe that. That's shocking.
Yeah, never seen. I saw the one where he went back to medieval
That's the
times.
third one. Yeah.
Army of
That's
Darkness.
the one I saw.
That's Army
Yeah.
of Darkness.
Army of Darkness I saw.
Yeah, Evil Dead, the original Evil Dead is more serious, and so is the remake. And then Evil Dead 2 starts, it's basically the same movie, but funny. And then the third one that you saw is on that path. So we're going to look at the serious ones.
All right. We're not going to bring the
So we're
kids
looking
back
at
on for that one, are we?
I don't think that would be a good idea.
No, that's probably not. Unless Disney did an animated version. Hey, Audrey, do you have a favorite Disney movie of all time? Like, if you could watch one Disney movie, what would it be?
I don't know.
Okay, give me one of your favorites. It doesn't have to be the only one you'll ever watch. Give me a favorite Disney movie that you can watch over and over again.
Probably Beauty and the Beast.
Oh, okay. So this one. Okay. How about you, Mara? Any special one that you would watch over and over again?
Well, it's not really in Disney, but the one that I could think on Disney would be Turning Red.
Turning Red.
I
And
heard
Emma,
that's
how
very
about
good.
you?
Toy Story.
The first one.
She is definitely a mini me.
That's
no
a
doubt
beautiful
about it.
movie. That
Oh
is
my
a
God.
beautiful, wonderful movie. That's a good
Yes,
choice.
it
All
is.
three of you. Very good.
So is Up that you mentioned earlier.
Yeah,
I love
Up's
that
a
one.
beautiful. The opening scenes in that movie are beautiful.
Yeah, I've never seen that.
Of course you did,
Oh,
Ralph, because
that's
it brings
wonderful.
joy to children. Why would you watch anything that brings joy to children?
I love Toy Story 1, 2,
Yeah.
and 3.
Yeah, yeah,
so I
yeah,
mean, you
yeah,
can't
yeah.
fault me on that one. I've
No,
seen,
no,
I've
not at
seen
all.
of
No,
those.
no. Watch Clute again.
That Clute is great.
Of course it is.
I'll bring the girls on for that one too. I'm sure.
All right.
I'm sure we'll have a lot to talk about. All right, you guys, you got to go.
We gotta, thank you guys. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you very much.
Bye, kids.
You guys like and subscribe?
Yeah.
Some
Yes.
of us do on this panel. Not all of us are like and subscribe, but some
Yeah.
of us have.
It's
So.
a struggle.
Thank
All right.
you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Audrey.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye,
Alex.
guys. Thank you.
Bye.
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 Oh,
What precocious children.
what did W.C. Fields always say?
Dogs and children.
Animals and children. Yes, indeed.
Oh.
All right. Now we bring the big kid in.
Sean.
Let's do a lightning round. We'll make
Well,
this
first,
quick.
don't we want to talk about dead people?
Sure.
There are two big dead people this year or this week.
Who died?
Milan Kundera, the author who wrote The Unbearable Lightness of Being, which was a movie in the 90s.
I like that movie.
He died at 94.
Wow.
Oh,
And
wow. What a great
he
life.
was a amazing writer, an interesting reclusive Czech who became a Frenchman, and an interesting guy, and a very sad life in a lot of ways. And then the other one was Jane Birkin, who was Serge Gainsbourg's muse and huge in French film from the 60s on, and the namesake of the Birkin bag.
I was going to ask.
Which is, obviously a little on the popular side. So those are two big figures of the arts of the
I saw
past
that.
50 years.
Rest in peace.
Yeah. I read Unbearable Lightness of Being, but I've never actually sat down and watched the movie.
It's worth a watch. I mean, the
Very
book is
sexy.
better, and
Oh my
so is
God.
the Laughter and Forgetting one. But
I found it unbearable.
yeah, I'm not surprised. You
really?
preferred if it was animated.
Is that Lena Ol? Who's the woman in that?
Yeah, Lena Olin and Daniel
Lena Olin.
Day-Lewis.
Yeah.
and
I like the
a bowler
cartoon
hat.
version of it.
And
Yeah,
Juliette
exactly.
Binoche, right?
The cartoon version.
Yeah,
All right,
Julia Binoche.
John, you passed last week for what you watched. Are you going to pass this week?
No, I'm not. I'll tell you what I watched. I was just looking for something to watch that wasn't very deep, because we watch a lot of deep movies on this show. And I've never seen Red and Red 2 with Bruce Willis.
Oh, sure.
I watched both of them and I loved both of them. Fun, good action. John Malkovich, Helen Mirren. They
John
were
who?
John Malkovich.
Malkovich.
Malkovich. Was great in it. Brian Cox. I don't know if any of you guys have seen it. The action is good. Mary Louise Parker, very funny. And as I was watching it, and Red 2 was available on Max. Red 1 I had to rent. It wasn't available on anything. But as I was watching it, and Bruce Willis is really good in it, being Bruce Willis.
What year
I was a little sad watching it, thinking
Yeah, I'll
about
bet.
what he's going through. So it was kind of bittersweet to watch them, but I hadn't seen either one of them and I really liked it. I mean, the storyline was stupid, but watching Helen Mirren with a sniper rifle and just being badass was really cool. So if you have not seen him, take a look at it and remember Bruce Willis for there was a time there where he had it going on. So that's what I watched.
What
a fun
year
one.
was Red 2?
2017, I think.
And was Bruce Willis in that too?
Yeah. They were all in it.
Because I'm wondering now, I mean, I don't mean to be morbid or anything. It's like, when could people start to see that he was changing? Because
I think
his direct to video.
that's what I was going to say. When
Yeah.
he started doing things, he started doing things. It wasn't a money grab either, just to get him working. And that's the people around him just wanted him to keep working. But you could see it wasn't the same Bruce Willis. I mean,
yeah, it's sad what happened to him.
yeah, it really was, because he was. I mean, he was with Stallone and Schwarzenegger at that time. He was big,
Yeah.
but he was also, he had something that they didn't have, because he is a funny funny.
It wasn't hair.
No, it wasn't here, and that's a big joke.
Well,
in
you know,
both movies.
everybody has these glowing. Bruce Willis. Listen, Die Hard. Obviously, this thing's named after Die
the
Hard.
OG.
But you know, he was kind of the Kevin Smith did that whole thing where he did cop. I don't know. I forget the name of it. Cop Out that he did with Tracy Morgan. And Bruce Willis was a total tool in that film for Kevin Smith.
Well, same with that monkey film.
12 Monkeys.
12 Monkeys, yeah.
So yeah, I love him. I love him, and it's hard for me to hear stories about him. And Kevin Smith was Bruce Willis was his hero, and he was in the Die Hard movie. He played the computer hacker in the fourth Die Hard. Kevin Smith. That's how he convinced Bruce Willis to do Cop Out with him, and then Bruce just turned into a total tool on Cop Out, and it's just kind of a sad thing. And
yeah, that was what was wrong with that movie.
I don't care about that. I don't care about that. I mean, you know, but it doesn't matter. Who knows what it might have been if Kevin Smith weren't dealing with this guy, treating him like a piece of shit.
Yeah, no, he shouldn't have behaved that way.
Right.
It's unkind, it's unprofessional, and it's uncalled for.
Yeah.
I mean, I when I was in college in Philadelphia, they were shooting 12 Monkeys. So I worked for the film office at the time. I went down to the set a couple times, and then there was a documentary called The Hamster Factor that was about Terry Gilliam making that movie, and those guys came and screened that at Penn where I was in school, and they stayed after and they told us stories, and a lot of the stories were about how Bruce Willis was very impressed with himself, and Madeline Stowe thought it was really funny. So he sounded like he went back and forth between being a good sport and being a cartoonishly arrogant movie star. And if he spent at least some of his time not being that's better than some of these people. So.
Right.
We watched the 12 Monkeys here once with
the grandkids,
another couple, and we were watching it with their son who wanted to be a movie director, Jimmy Proimus. And we listened with Terry Gilliam's director commentary.
Mm-hmm.
Which was a lot about working with Bruce Willis.
Yeah, yeah.
And little Jimmy Proimus was getting more and more depressed. And finally, at the end, he's like, I'm never going to be a director.
It can't be easy.
No.
Although I heard a great story that Matt Damon promised his wife in therapy that he would take time off from movies unless
Christopher Nolan
asked him to do a film, and he's in Oppenheimer. I mean, and I'm also hearing Barbie's getting rave reviews.
Oh, it looks great.
Barbie is subversive and just the right.
I just can't think.
I'm sure it's subversive.
It's Greta.
I'm telling you, John.
You can trust her.
How about Oppenheimer? You guys looking forward to Oppenheimer?
Can't wait for Oppenheimer.
I'll watch that. Yeah,
I'm also looking forward to Barbie as well. Can't
I
wait.
bet you are.
Barbenheimer.
All right, Sean and Debbie. Did you watch anything?
We're working so hard and we're in our own little world with the little kids. We didn't watch anything.
Well, I did watch something that I'd never seen, a very classic. You were sleeping. I watched Umbrellas of Cherbourg.
Oh, that's such a good
film. That's like sung.
Yes.
It's on TCM, right?
Yeah, it was beautiful. And the music was great too.
When did you watch this?
You were upstairs sleeping.
When was this?
One evening.
Oh.
You actually said
One enchanted evening
down there, and I told you what it was, but you didn't come down. And here's another film that was little Mara, who was here for the show. She's literally related to Elvis. So one night we had Elvis over. We had Mara over, and on Max I decided to watch while she was playing her Roadblocks, Girl Happy. An Elvis film, which is
Girl Happy. Yes,
Sean, are you related? Is
happy,
somebody in
can't
your
you?
life? Everybody's related to everybody in your life. I mean, it's amazing. You're
if you do the family tree.
Is
I have
this
to
a
see
family
if my
tree?
cousin-
Who created this family tree? Did you pay for a family tree to be done?
Will you let him talk about Girl Happy with Shelley Fabre?
I stopped hearing it when I
Marianne
heard
Mobley?
she's related to Elvis.
Come on, Gary Crosby.
Documentation from my grandma, which is Mara's other grandma on the father's side, not on our bloodline, but Mara is related to Elvis, and she said she was actually there at a picnic where Elvis was there, and it's a fascinating story.
Amazing.
And I'm not
Elvis
gonna-
Presley.
Yeah,
Elvis Presley was at a picnic.
Elvis E.
Elvis Stoico.
Yeah.
Or Elvis Gerbach.
Elvis Costello.
Elvis E was a riot at my party.
Sorry,
These
I would
guys.
take Elvis
Abbott and
Costello,
Costello.
too.
He was trying to get everybody to watch Three Stooges, and he would clear rooms. one of the young ladies, she's 26 years old. She goes, "Okay, I'll watch the Three Stooges if you listen to Cardi B's WAP." He went,
It's a fine song.
I said, "That's a good deal. Take that deal."
Yeah,
So,
definitely.
anyway.
You know what I want to say about Elle, that Girl Happy, not one of his great films, but I was sitting there watching it as a screenwriter, and it's like 1 minute in, you know everything that's going to happen in the movie. It's sort of like this would really do with like Blake Snyder's Unsaved the Cat or something. And so it's like incredibly predictable. But I can imagine if you find Elvis interesting, he's magnetic throughout. You know, it's Elvis. He's there. They got all these beautiful girls. They're all in Fort Lauderdale. It's spring break. They're all wearing bikinis. And it's sort of like, if you like Elvis and you like girls in bikinis, even though this is like considered one of his worst movies, it's like, you can't go wrong. But then you listen to the music is not great. It has Do the Clam in it.
Do the clam. Grab your little baby by the hand.
Do the Clam, yeah.
I thought that was going to catch on.
I think some of those songs in that movie were written by the guy who did Plan 9 from Outer Space's girlfriend. He became a songwriter, I think. What?
Really?
Yeah, I think she wrote some of the songs that were in Girl Happy. Co-wrote them.
Sorry, hang
That's
on.
enough from us.
All right, Drew. I'm just kidding. Chris.
Yeah. So as far as things I watched, oh, by the way, Umbrellas of Cherbourg. I heard an amazing Patton Oswalt did a little clip about that where he was talking about that film, and he's like, "This is a movie that looks like you can taste it."
That's 100% true.
It's so over kind of saturated. It's really amazing. But the movie that I finally caught up with after like a year and a half of it being out was Ryusuke Hamaguchi's Drive My Car, which won Best Foreign Language Picture, I believe, last year at the Oscars. Not earlier this year, but in early 2022. It came out in 2021. It's 3 hours. It's a very kind of deliberately paced, also known as slow film, but it is absolutely crushing. You know, it is an intense movie. But it's terrific. And when you get to the ending, you're like, I'm happy I went on this journey. I'm not sure I want to keep going on with my life.
Oh, God.
I'm happy I went on this journey. It's really intense and it's powerful. And that guy, I had seen one of his other films, and he's made 2 other movies, and I'm looking forward to tracking them down.
Drive My Car. Never heard of it.
Yeah, like I said, it won. It was an outside shot at winning Best Picture, actually. Even though there was some talk of that, but that obviously didn't happen. It had to settle for Best Foreign Language Picture.
Okay, I guess. Drew, can you talk?
Yeah, sorry about that.
No worries.
The theme this week has been animals with problems.
Oh,
everything is fine.
Okay.
So what did I watch this week? So the new Mission Impossible came out. So I said, all right, I'm gonna watch all of them again. But who has time?
Wow.
So I watched my favorite one, which is the 5th one, Mission Impossible Rogue Nation. I haven't seen it in a couple of years. Just fantastic fun. The first one with Rebecca Ferguson. The first one written and directed by Christopher McQuarrie, who went on to do Fallout, and then these next new one and the one after. A really great movie, really nice mix of fantastic action and heist and all that stuff. And I liked Fallout, and then I saw the new one, and I really liked it. It was I would normally say something like, "Oh, it's so long. It's 2 hours and 43 minutes," and that would be without the 20 minutes of ads and previews. But of course, it was more like half an hour of those.
Yeah, it was.
But I mean, I watch Indian movies. It's not a big deal. I thought it was really good. I like how they're not leaning into it as much as like Rocky Balboa or something, but Ethan is getting older.
Yeah.
And I like how he has a lot of things go wrong. Bad luck things happen. He in the big stunt that's been in all the commercials and stuff, when he realizes he has to do that, he doesn't go, "I'm a superhero." He goes, "Oh, like his face is just like, oh my, I really have to do this, but he really does have to do this
Yeah.
because he's fighting for a good cause. And I liked that he's not superhuman. He does a lot of superhuman things. I mean, the man's cardio alone is ridiculous, but it was really fun. I really look forward to the next one. And one thing that I noticed, I love film scores, and except for some of the fun things that these movies have done with the original Mission Impossible theme, they haven't really had any memorable scores. There was some really good stuff in this one, especially that stunt, and there's a big sword fight on a bridge that also is a plot point that I have some mixed feelings about, but it was really excellent. It was really excellent to see the new people and the old people and everybody together. And if you like action movies, it's a fine action movie. And if you like the Mission Impossible movies, it's an excellent new one.
It had a John Wick vibe to it, some of those scenes, didn't it?
Yeah, well, some of the action, I mean, that's the thing. Like, I have not seen Fast X, but apparently it has some very similar scenes, like a car chase through
Same
Rome
place.
and stuff.
Yeah.
But it's all in Mission Impossible. In Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1, it's all real cars, and it looks like real cars. And when you see Tom Cruise and Haley Atwell in the car,
handcuffed,
looking scared and handcuffed to each other, like they're definitely in that
It's a
car.
great scene, and it goes on for a long time. That
Oh
scene
yeah,
goes on
and,
for a
well,
long
that's
time.
the thing. There were a number of action sequences that, if I look back on them, I could say, you know, it didn't need to be that long.
Yeah.
But I didn't mind it being that long because it had natural breaks in it. There are
Yeah.
moments where you take a breath with the characters, whether that's the train or the car chases, or there's a fantastic sequence in the Dubai airport, which is mostly just people walking around.
Yeah.
It's a really great, fun sequence, and I thought it was just really fun. The one thing I will say though, I wouldn't bother to see it in IMAX if that's going to cost you a lot more. I saw it in IMAX. The seats didn't recline, so that was disappointing.
Yeah.
But also, I didn't realize it's not an IMAX movie. It's shot for IMAX. It's the first Mission Impossible film that wasn't shot on film, so it was shot with 65 millimeter lenses on digital cameras. It looks amazing, don't get me wrong. But that's different than Oppenheimer, which is shot in IMAX, and they shot the movie on IMAX film. So
But the sound's better in IMAX too, right? Isn't it? Sound
it
better?
can be
Louder,
It can be.
for
I
sure,
mean,
louder.
the sound is so good, and sometimes it's just volume. Like I'm happy to see it. If I decided to see it again, which I might see Mission Impossible again in the theater, I wouldn't spend the money on IMAX. But Barbie I'll see in a regular theater, which will be great, and Oppenheimer I'll try and see in IMAX if I can find one with a recliner. I mean, come on.
And that was completely shot in IMAX, right?
Yes, I believe
Oppenheimer
so.
was complete IMAX.
I believe so. That's Nolan. That's
Chris,
Nolan.
you're
That's what
muted.
he does.
One quick note about just from where we are. Sorry, John. The Maryland Science Center, which has a real IMAX screen,
Yes.
not a fake one, occasionally shows, like, I saw Dunkirk there, and it's
wow.
mind blowing.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, not too many people either know about it or think about it. So I saw Dunkirk on opening weekend, and there was probably only 150 people in that
Oh,
theater.
I gotta see. Is Oppenheimer going to play there?
But if Oppenheimer plays there, you can bet that's where I'm going.
I also heard Cruise was pissed off that he didn't get on as many IMAX screens as Oppenheimer's going to get on, because
They'll only have him for 9 days or something.
well,
That's what it
IMAX,
is.
created. What's his name has a relationship with
Nolan.
Nolan has a relationship with IMAX.
Yep.
They created cameras for.
He
his thing,
shoots
so,
the whole thing in IMAX.
right,
I
so
mean,
they're going to let him.
Yeah.
Okay, so Sean and Debbie dropped off, so the four squares. It's just like impossible.
all right.
With these guys sometimes. Anything else, Drew?
No, that was the big thing I saw this week, and I recommend it.
I got two things I'm going to talk about. One is a local thing. I've been obsessed
hurry
with
up,
this
please?
guy. Yeah, no kidding. I've been obsessed with this guy named Pete McDevitt, who does these live streams in Catonsville. I don't know.
Oh,
Chris,
this
if
is
you know
the
this
parade guy.
This
The
is the
parade
guy in the parade. I got on YouTube with this guy Pete McDevitt.
How you doing? Happy 4th. We're live on YouTube right now. You want to say hi? Come on in. Live on YouTube. How you doing? What's your name? I'm good. Ralph. Ralph, I'm Pete. Nice to meet you. Where are you guys from?
Catonsville.
Nice. Okay.
That's our first time doing the parade.
Really?
Yes.
Okay,
So
awesome.
we're excited.
Oh, it's big.
Happy 4th.
Happy 4th. You guys go on YouTube a lot?
I have a channel.
Do you?
Yep.
What do you do?
See yours.
What-
Video, movies.
Movies and stuff?
Indian movies and American movies.
Well, reach out to me and I'll check it out.
I will.
Send me a note. Let me know what it is.
Thank you.
Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. Happy 4th. Yes, hello to Ralph. And he gone. Nice guy. I'm going to check out his channel when he tells me what it is.
And I've become weirdly obsessed with him because Sean, you're absolutely killing me. You have no idea how you're killing me right now.
Sean,
Jesus
because of you,
Christ.
we'll only have 85 subscribers.
Oh my God! All right.
Because of that.
Oh my God.
I don't know how it's like 3 things, and then it's.
I'm sure.
Oh,
I'm
you
sure
mean that Wi-Fi?
There's something to look
The
into because you guys were freezing up again in this one.
Sean, do you have any Wi-Fi boosters in your house?
No, do you think that would work?
Well, where are you
need
wired in? Where's your Wi-Fi? Where's the box?
Wi-Fi's into literally the next room.
But you're not connected. Your
10 feet
computer
away.
isn't connected to the modem, right?
No.
You're
Do
going
you have,
wireless.
Do you have the password for that Wi-Fi?
Well, Sean, the one thing I would do is maybe go get a long Ethernet cable and just while you do the podcast, plug in Ethernet.
Sean, if you get a booster and plug
Because this
it
is
into the kitchen,
I can't tell you how this like
it will
now
boost your
going
signal.
4 boxes to
is-
5 boxes back to 4 boxes. It just slows everything down.
Sorry.
No, it's all right. It's just the
Sean,
editing.
it's not your
becomes-
fault.
I know. I'm just trying to solve the problem,
Yeah.
which I think is just. I really
You
think
don't even know what the problem is. What's the problem? Oh, sorry, that's Moneyball.
All right. So what was our
That's a
Drew's,
good movie
Drew's
too.
lights just got killed.
Hold
All
on.
right,
I'm
not
not
gonna
fix it.
Okay. So Pete McDevitt, local guy. I don't know. I'm obsessed. He has 500 viewers that watch him live. I watched him do a drive from Dover back to Baltimore.
Why?
I don't know. I'm obsessed. But the movie I rewatched, and we were talking a little bit about Disney stars. I rewatched Autofocus, the Paul Schrader movie about the Bob Crane murder.
Yeah.
Marie and I watched it. God, it's such a good film. Greg Kinnear does a great job
Yeah.
playing. But have you seen it, Chris?
No, I've never seen Autofocus.
Oh wow, it's all about his
Creepy.
pornography obsession and his Hogan Hero run and it's a Paul Schrader film, so he gets into some some stuff that's pretty heavy. Just well done all around. I highly recommend the film. So,
Ralph, do you have any footage from your weekend party with all the YKY crew there?
just
gonna
you
see
on
any footage?
you on the phone.
That's it.
That's
I
it.
thought you'd do something with everybody there.
I was running around. My friend kept trying to play the Three Stooges on every screen I had sitting at the house, including the movie screen I set up before the rainstorm came. Chris, I ended up buying a 14-foot inflatable screen.
Nice.
Oh, cool.
Because our neighbors, I think, we're going to start movie nights. They want to start coming over to watch movies. So that's
You
what
guys
came
can
out of that.
review them.
Yeah. I've turned on a couple of the neighbors to the show. One guy listened to Murder on the Orient Express. He gave me the thumbs up, so that was fun. One of our 17 viewers that watched that one. All right, next week it's Evil Dead, the 2013 and the original Evil Dead.
1981. Yep.
John, I think you'll enjoy both of them quite nice.
I love Bruce Campbell. I didn't purposely not watch them. I just never.
Well,
seen
he's
them.
not in the 2013.
I know that.
Well, yeah, he's not in the.
Sort of.
Well, Evil Dead 1, Evil Dead 2 is essentially a remake of Evil Dead 1.
Right, but with laughs.
Yeah, it's a better version of Evil. Evil Dead 1 is straight, and Evil Dead 2 plays it more laugh. And
I mean, Evil Dead 1 is a horror movie, and Evil Dead 2 is the welcome Bruce Campbell to the world.
Evil
And
Dead
so
1
they're
was the
very
one that
different.
kids were bringing home on VHS and spread the word about it. That's
right.
That's
the
what
Evil
started
Dead
it.
1 is the one that was banned across the world and all that kind
Oh,
of stuff.
really?
And-
Yeah.
and- well, I mean, you'll watch it now and you'll go, okay, I could see why they were being upset at it. But I mean, a lot of it, and we'll talk about it, a lot of it is kind of like marveling at the fact that not only is it all practical, but it's stuff for $2.
Yeah.
And stuff that frankly wasn't very safe.
Is that
to do
that's Sam
looks
Raimi,
great.
right?
Yeah, it's Sam Raimi's first thing. Yeah.
Yeah. And
Excellent.
I read the Bruce Campbell documentary about his life. It's just an amazing thing. So, all right. So see you guys next week for Evil Dead. Sean, you going to be okay for the next one?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, I thought it was frozen again.
That's dramatic pause
That
right
was
there.
a dramatic pause.
Wow, Sean.
All right. Thank you,
Yes.
grandkids, for coming on.
Yeah.
That was quite nice.
That was
of them.
fun.
Appreciate
Thank you
it.
for a
That
special
was fun.
guest.
We'll edit them out.
Chris, your granddaughter was very
One
nice.
question, she
Yeah,
said.
she's
What'd you say, Sean?
Debbie said I couldn't say it, so I can't say what I was going to say.
Oh,
Okay.
do you always do what Debbie says?
She.
Yes.
Yes, that's smart.
Yes, this
Smart
week.
man. Smart man. So-
All right, Ralph.
All right, everybody have a good week. It's going to
Yep.
take me about 6 weeks to edit this one because of all the swears bouncing
Oh
around.
yeah,
so-
yeah, no
hang on.
problem.
Sean will take care of it.
Those 80 people are going to be pissed.
All right, buddy. Have a good week.